use this one as well. Just when you're gonna execute this particular thing, so you will get the values. When I'm gonna execute the upper shell, okay, after that I'm gonna execute the lower and just get it, you will get the values of A, B, and C. So these are the Python statement, and these are the methods how you would be able to write your Python code in your machines. After that, you have to learn about the Python indentation, and this is a very important thing you have to learn in case of Python, because in case of C and C++ and Java, whenever you will try to define a block of your code using the condition, and if you want to define a body of your function as well, okay, in JavaScript as well, you have to use a curly braces on those programming languages. But in case of Python, there's a no need of curly braces. If you would like to define a block of any code, just you have to give white spaces, or you can also use a tab for indentation. Okay, and you have to manage the indentation if you like to define the body of any variable. So what I have done, this is just an example to understand. Now let's suppose this, if you like to use any loop here, what I have done, so I have write a one statement for loop. Okay, we will learn about the loop as well. So this is just you have to learn. So what I have written, so this is a one statement of for loop what I have written here. Now the point, instead of defining curly braces, okay, in case of another programming language, what you have done, just you have defined any condition or loop. So look like this. If you have defined this particular loop here, after that you have defined the body of loop inside the curly braces in case of another programming language. But in case of Python, just you have to put down the colon after the statement. Once you have put a colon after the statement, always you have to give a specific space, number of space, until you're gonna manage this particular space. What does it mean? You are inside the body of for loop. Okay, so this is a method how you can simply define indentation in Python. So I have defined a one another block of if condition here. Just look at this. I have defined a one more colon here. When I have defined a colon, just I have put a another one tab. So this is a method how you can simply use indentation in Python instead of using curly braces. So this is a way how when you will write a big code using the Python language, then you have to use indentation for that. Okay, this is a one another example. I have defined a one statement here, and just you have to put down the colon. Okay, and just give the specific number of space. If you will not pass any space there, just look at this. What happened? I have passed double space here, and what I have done, I have passed a one single space. So this is a invalid syntax. Just look at this. Okay, this is a unindent does not match any outer indentation level. Either it should be matched to indent the earlier one, or either just you can simply put this particular variable, this statement into the main indentation. When you will define the main indentation, there's a no need of a space anyway. If you will use a space here, so before that you have to write a one statement as well using the colon. So that's how either you can simply use a one space as well. And now this is a, when you want to execute, this is a valid syntax. What I have done, because I have used a one single space here and another space as well. Only you have to maintain the number of spaces when you want to define a block of any body. So this is a method. You can also use three space as well. And the standard, according to the standard method, just you can simply use a for space, or just you can simply use a tab as well. So this is a method how you will define a body of your Python. Okay, and sometimes you can also use a one-liner statement. Okay, when you will use a one-liner statement, so this condition is also true. As you can use also these statements. Okay, we will learn in brief about the conditions. How can you simply define the condition as well? So don't worry about these guys. So what I have done, so this is another method to use. We will not use most of the time this method. Okay, most of the time we will use this method in case of Python. But sometime if you want to define a specific condition for a short time, then there you can simply use this type of thing. Okay, most of the time, often you will see this type. After that, now this is a Python comment. Okay, how you would be able to define a comment. What is actually a comment is, sometimes if you want to write some unwanted text in your file. Okay, let's suppose if you like to define the description of any function, you want to define the description of your code. Okay, and you don't want to execute the description of your code. Okay, then just you can simply put down the hash mark before the statement, and this particular lines will not be executed. When you want to execute, only this statement has been executed. If I'm going to write a Sachin here, so it will give you the Sachin is not defined. It will give you the error because Sachin is not a variable. That's why it will give you the error. Either you can simply put down the hash, Just let it be. That particular line has not been executed. That's why you will not get any error. And that sometimes you have to, if you want to do the multi-line comments, okay, or either you can simply say multi-line comments are also called the docstring in Python. So this is not a right way to do the multiple line comments. Okay, so instead of using multiple hash, just you can simply use a triple quotes or triple double quotes. So this is a method how you would be able to define multi-line comments. Okay, just look at this. I have defined a data here. Just I'm gonna print the data. That particular code now has been executed because I have defined this code inside the triple quotes. So this is a one another method to define a multi-line comments. Whatever you're gonna write, that all these things are the comment. That particular part would not be executed in your Python program. So this is a one method to define all these things. Okay, there's a one doubt, Charan. Is there any rule to give a specific number of space? Actually, there's a no rule to give any specific number of space. You can give a one space, or either you can simply give two space. But when you will write a very huge program, okay, you might be sometimes you will also confuse. So that's why the according to the standard method, just you can simply pass a for space. It's a standard method. You can simply pass four spaces here. Okay, it's your choice. Either you can simply pass 8 spaces and 6 spaces according to your browser, according to your ID confirmation, what you have configured in your ID, right? So that was a method to define all these things. So this is a one method, guys, how you would be able to define a statement and comment. Let me close this notebook. I'm going to share all these notebooks along with you in Slack workspace after the session. So let me save this and close this notebook. And now let's go back to the list, right? And in earlier session, we were discussing about the list, and now I'm going to open the list here. And now this is a list what I have opened, and I think I have given you some task, right? You have to learn about all these functions. So let me take a one short recap how you would be able to use all these functions, what these functions work for you. So let me define a one variable data. Okay, inside the data variable, I'm going to define some values. So just these are the just example to understand. So these are the four elements I have defined. How you would be able to use is you can simply use a len function for that, and it will give you the total number of elements. Okay, you know very well, guys, how what is actually indexing is, right? So if I'm going to define an indexing here to understand, either you can simply use this positive index 0, 1, 2, and third. Either you can also use a negative index as well. Okay, each and every element have their own unique index number, or elements have also their negative index also. So you can simply use any method according to your satisfaction. Just what I have done, so I'm gonna comment out this part. Done. So now the point, if you would like to fetch any element, just you can simply put any index number. Either you can simply fetch this element using third index. Okay, and the second method to fetch the same element, you can also use -1. That's how you will be able to fetch those elements, right? Now sometimes this is what I have done. We have also discussed about the one method called append. If you like to add value at the end of the list, just you can simply use this method to add the values at the end of the list. And what I have done, so I have add this particular object at the end of my list using the append method. Just you have to pass one argument. And why I have passed one argument, that you can simply took a help using this method, right? So this is a method how you would be able to take a help. Either you can simply write the data as well, because I want to take a help inside the data variable in append method, and it will give you the one help here. So when you are trying to call a append function, just you have to pass object, and that particular object will be end of the list, append at the end of the list. So now there's a one way, if you want to insert any object on a different condition, there you can simply use insert. Just you have to put a index number there, on which index number would you like to save your element, would like to insert your element. I would like to insert a element on top of second index. And now just look at this, what I have done. So I have put my triple line on number of index number second. Now next, if you like to remove your elements, okay, how you would be able to remove your elements from the list. So for that, just you need to use some inbuilt functions or method. You can simply say what methods we're gonna use here. Pop. Okay, you can also use remove. Okay, you can also use different from list, you can also use del as well. Okay, so all are three methods if you want to delete something here. So the point is, first of all, I will discuss about the pop. One, you are trying to use a pop, just what you need to do, just you can simply use a pop method. You can call a pop method, and inside a pop method you have to pass a one argument, and that particular argument will be optional. Okay, if you would pass a one argument here, or either if you're gonna pass a one index number, actually when you are trying to call a pop function here, okay, so you have to pass the index number of element, which element you would like to remove from your data set. So I would like to remove ml from here. The what's the index number of ml? -2. That's fine. Just hit the enter. Now the one more functionality of pop, whatever it will remove from your data, it will also return the element to you. Let's look at this. What I have removed ml, so that's why it will return a ml to you. Now just look at this. There's no ml inside the data right now. The second thing, let's suppose if you want to remove an element, okay, and you will not pass any value inside the pop, so the default value of pop, it will remove the -1 index. Okay, but because if you're going to check out the help of pop here, so what it will done, so it have removed the value 100 from your list, because that was the last value of pop. Either you can simply use help function for that, or just you can simply check it out what pop will do for you. So the default value of the index is -1. If you will not pass any index, so it will take a default last. So that's a method. If you will not pass any index, it will remove the last one. If you're gonna pass a index number here, then on that point it will remove that particular index here. Let's come to the next point. Let's suppose sometimes you want to remove your data, right? But you don't know the index number. Let's take an example. If you have thousands of data in your same list and you not be able to understand the index number of those elements, you are trying to remove your elements. You are trying to remove your element from their name, okay, instead of index number. So on that point, you have to use remove method for there. So here, in case of remove method, you have to pass the element. Which element you would like to remove? So I would like to remove triple line. Just done. I just look at this. The triple line has been removed from your data set. Okay. The another method, if you are trying to remove something which is not present inside your data, just look at this. It will give you the one error. What was the error? So value error, that particular element is not in list. That's why you are not able to remove these elements. Okay. So, and what element I can remove? So either you can simply remove the 10, either you can simply remove the Python as well. Just look at this. What I have done, I have removed the Python as well from my data set. So these are the methods. How can you manipulate your list? Okay, how you would be able to remove your elements from the list using three methods: pop, remove, and del. And del is a different function from list. If you wanna use, the point is, if you have a multiple methods, if you have a multiple data into the same list, I'm gonna append one more time. Let me append that school. So what I have done, just look at this. Now, sometime if you want to delete multiple elements, okay, so where pop will not work and the remove is also not work. So on that point, you can simply use a del function. So del is a separate function from a list. So that del is a standalone function. Just we can simply pass which element we like to remove. Just we can simply pass using the index method. Okay, just pass the index number of all those elements. What do you want to remove from your data? So I would like to remove from here to until last. So what's the index number of 39? Second, just give the colon, and now it will take a default value of last. What it will do? Just look at this. So it will remove all the elements from second to last. Just look what happened. So these are the very basics thing you have to understand, guys, and these are the very important thing if you want to go for any another course as well. Okay, so these are the things you have to know. So what I have done, so I'm trying to print my data. So I have delete three values in a single time using the del function, because if you want to delete multiple values, then pop and the remove will not work there. Okay, and the separate way, you can also use a loop there. Okay, you can simply remove multiple elements using the loop, but that was a further task, right? Now the next thing, let's suppose there's a multiple methods as well. So let me add more elements into the data set, or either I'm going to create a new one. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to take it random numbers. So what I have done, so I have created one another list. Uh, let's suppose if you like to reverse your element, so there's a one function you can use the reverse. What it will do for you, just, and where I'm using these functions, you know very well, okay, how you'd be able to check out all the functions. This is a dir, and these are the functions you can simply use. So I have used a insert, pop. I have also used a append here. So all these are the functions you can simply use. So now the point is, this is a data, and what I want to do, if I would like to reverse my whole list, just you can simply use this function. And now this function is a in place function. And what is actually in place, sometimes let's suppose, and now you don't have to define your data again, so it will place your value into the same object. Let's look at this. So what happened, I have reversed my whole elements, and now just it will reverse your whole list from 0 to 1. So that's how you can simply reverse your list. If you like to sort your element, just you can simply use this method again. The another method you can also use sort, and sort method is used to sort your elements using this method. Just click on data, and now all the elements have been sorted using a ascending order. So these are the methods how you would be able to sort your elements. Okay. Now, yeah, sorted is a different function from the list, but the sort is a function of a list. Okay, yeah, sorted, and when you want to check out the sorted is also do the same thing. The point is, let's suppose if you like to reverse, if you like to sort your element into a descending order, right? So for that, just you have to check out the help of data and sort, and what you will find. So there's a multiple argument you can pass. Okay, the first argument is a key. Okay, we will discuss about the key later. Okay, we will discuss about the anonymous function as well as using this particular key. Okay, just let it be for right now. If you like to implement any function on top of each and every object of your list, then you have to define the key. But we have to discuss about this flag, reverse false. So this is a one another default argument you will find out when you are trying to call your sort method, right? And now if you're gonna toggle the value of this flag, okay, instead of false, you will type that true here. So it will sort your element in descending order. So that's actually the description of that part. The reverse flag can be set to the sort in descending order as well. So this is a data, and what you want to do, you like to sort in a descending order. You can simply use the same value, reverse, and here I'm going to type reverse, and what I would like to type a one boolean value here. Okay, so what I have done, I have passed a one argument as reverse is equal to true. So just look at this, your list has been sorted into a descending order as well. So these are the functions what I have used. So let me check it out, your doubts, what do you have? You can append multiple values into the list. Yeah, you can also append multiple values into the list, but that was a one another method, right? So now the point is, sometimes if you like to append multiple values at a single time, how you would be able to do that? Because let's take one example, right? So I'm going to show you. If you will use a append function, okay, what do you want to do? I would like to append multiple values. Just try to use this method. Or either you can also use a string as well. It's your choice. Okay, what I'm trying to do, I would like to add two values at same time or three values at same time into the list. And now what happened, you will receive a one error. What error you will receive, because append only takes a one exactly one argument. Okay, but what you are trying to do, you were trying to add, you were trying to pass three objects. Okay, you were trying to pass three arguments. That's why you are getting a error. So now the point is, instead of append function, you can simply use a extend function there. Okay, so extend is a function if you would like to add multiple element at same time, then you can simply use a extend function there, and you can simply use a list square bracket, and you can simply pass all the elements what you are trying to extend there. Another, sometimes the candidate is also confused. Okay, instead of extend, if I'm gonna pass a append here, what happened, just look at this. When I have used a one append function, and now when I have used a square bracket as well, okay, this is another list. Actually, it will create a nested list for you. Just look at the difference. What I have done, when you are trying to use the same append function and you have add a one iterator object. What is actually an iterator? Because this is a sequence I have written here. When you will call this particular sequence, always it will give you the next value. So when you have used a append function and you have passed multiple values into the square brackets, so it will add all the values as in a one object of your whole list. So that's the issue what you are facing here. Okay, now this is called a nested list. I have created a one another list inside another list. So now the point, if you want to fetch this particular list, so just look at this, what's the index number? And now either you can simply guess how many elements you have right inside the list right now. If you're gonna count, so just look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now this particular element will be counted as a one element, 9 element. Okay, so just you can simply check it out as well. So only you have a 9 element, not 11 element. Okay, you would not be able to count 3 element as a separate because this is single element for the data list. We have used the append method there. So now the point, if you like to fetch that particular element, just you can simply use -1 index and just you will get the whole list from the list. And now the another method of for slicing, just we can also use a one square bracket. If you like to fetch Python from there, you can simply pass 1 because the 0 and this is a 1 index. Just look at this, what you will get the one nested value from your data. So these are the values, right? And now the point is, I'm gonna remove that particular value. That you can simply do this method, pop, and it will remove the whole element from here. Just look at this, there's a no whole list, there's a no nested list inside your main list. Now the point is, the question was how you would be able to add multiple elements, right? So just instead of append, what I have used earlier, just look at this. So I'm gonna copy this shell. Okay, instead of use append, only you have to use another method called extend. What it will do for you, it will add multiple elements. Okay, and now what you have to pass a one iterator object here, and now how many elements you gonna pass, it will add all the element into the data. And now this is a method. Now just look at this, and now all 3 elements have been members of the data list, not a separate list. Okay, hopefully you got it the idea, guys. Now you can simply check out the length of your data. Now it's 11 instead of 9. Okay, now let's come to the next point. Here what we have learned, so you can also short. Now there's a one beautiful thing you have to remember. Let's look at this, these are the integers, right? And now these are the some, you have returned some string as well. And now when you are gonna use a short method here, so now the short method will give you the error right now. Okay, if you have a same data type in case of list, then you would be able to use a short function. Now the short function will not work for you. But in case of Python 2, if you have already used a Python 2, okay, but we will not discuss about the Python 2 anymore. You can simply use a data.short in case of Python 2, but we have to learn Python 3 because this is the latest version, right? So in case of Python 3, it will not support a instance between a different instance, right? Because I was trying to short my element. There's some elements are from a string, there's some elements are from integer. That was the method. You will not be able to do that. So you have to understand this thing. Now the next thing what we have to learn, so if you like to clear all the elements, just, and now the one more thing, if you like to check out the index number of element, you can also use this method. So you have to learn all these methods, guys. So this, you will find out a multiple method. You can also clear your all elements using this method. You can also use all these methods to learn all these things, right? Let's move forward from the list. Okay, hopefully you understood the whole list what I have told you. And now you can also change the values of the last point I'm going to tell you inside the list, how you would be able to replace any value of any point. So let's take an example. This is a data, right? Now what I want to do, I would like to replace this particular value from Sachin. I would like to I would like to take AD instead of Sachin. So the first of all, you have to know how you would be able to fetch this value. Though you can simply fetch using the index number 3, right? Just look at this. So now the time, instead of fetching this particular value, what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace a new value. So what I have done, so I have put a one new value here on index number 3 of the data from the reverse index. Okay, either you can simply use any index number. Let's look at this, what I have done. So I have update my value on top of -3rd index. So this is a one way if you like to update any index element, just you can simply use this method and you can simply define that particular index again using this particular operator. Now this particular operator is called assignment operator, what I have done. So this is a one way to replace your elements in case of list. Okay, so actually if some students have been confused, this is not a function what I have written. This is a slicing operator. And now if you want to fetch any element, just you have to put the index number of those elements, right? Either you will find out, I have told you, there's a multiple method to define your index. You can also fetch your elements from positive index, because each and every element in your list there have a unique index number. Okay, but in case of each and every element have their own negative index number as well. This is a way how you would be able to fetch your elements. Okay, when if you like to fetch ml from here, you can simply use a -1 there. So this is a way. Okay, so now let me go back. Now, oops, my bad. Now the next thing here, I'm gonna move on top of a string, guys. We have to discuss about the string right now. Okay, string manipulation. Our today's topic is string manipulations, right? So let me close this particular notebook from the list. I'm gonna create a new notebook here. And here we'll learn about the string manipulation. Okay, so you'll get the idea of the slicing from the string as well. Don't worry, don't be confused. I'm gonna check out your rollouts as well at the later. So what is actually a string manipulations is, I have told you, when you will just what we have learned until yet. So how you would be able to define integer, right? How we can simply define the float, how you can simply define the list and the string. Right now we are talk about the string. Now how you can simply define a string using this method. Name, this is a one way. Okay, and the second way, if you like to define a name too, just you can also use single quote as well. Okay, so this is another way to define a string. So now the point is, let's suppose if I'm going to type in another element, this is a name, so what I'm going to do, just I'm going to type Python train. And now if you like to calculate the length of your string, the same function you can simply use names. So all these are the very basic things what we have done. I have defined a 3 variable name, name to names. Now the point is, I can also use the same operator. Okay, what I have used in case of list is called slicing, right? So what's the meaning of slicing here? Now the point is, let's suppose if you like to print your name, that you can simply use this method, and now it will print your whole name, Python training. But the sometime, instead of printing your whole name, if you like to print only T from here, so just the same thing you have to remember, what's actually the index number of all these elements. Okay, either you can simply calculate. If I'm gonna type 8 here, if I'm gonna type 7, what do you want to do? Just what happened? Just oops, I missed. I have to type 7. So what's the index number of T? That was a 7. Okay. For understanding, let me write. Okay, don't worry. Just and now you have to understand each and every element of your string, each and every character of your string have their own unique index number. Space also have their own unique index number. So the index number of space will be 7 and so on. Okay, I'm gonna use this. And if you will check out your index number in negative method, you will find out your index number in negative as well. Okay, I'm gonna write just normal -3, -2, -1. Okay, I will not write many more. That's good. So what does it mean? The index number of G is also -1, index number of N is -2, and so on, right? So that's how you can simply check it out. Now the point is, let's suppose, what do you want to do? You like to print Python from here. So you know you have to use the same method what I have done inside the list. Just you can simply print the names. Inside the name, just you can simply use a slicing operator. In case of slicing operator, you can simply put down three values, starting point, you can simply put end point and a stab. Okay. So what I would like to do, so I would like to print only Python from Python training. So that's only you have to start from 0 and until just you would like to print until 6. That's how it will work. So what happens, I can simply print Python from my whole string. So that's how I can simply split my string here, I can simply define this method, right? Now if you want to print, if you want to try to print a 6 index of your string, you will get a space. Just look at this. So this is a space I have get it. Okay, because space have their own unique index number as well. Either you can simply print use this method, you can simply use, if you like to print training from here, you would like to start from 7 and just let it be. What happened, you would be able to print the training from your string. So this is called, what I have done the slicing using the string as well. So this is a method how you'll be able to slice it. There's a one more way. Sometimes if you want to print your string in reverse method, right? Okay, and now if you want to find a palindrome numbers, if you want to find a palindrome string as well sometime. So what happened if I'm going to write this method? What I have done, just if you want to write just 0 and until 15, right? What happened? So these are the default values what I have put here. Okay, if you will not pass any value, still you will get the same result. And if I'm gonna change any one of them, just look at this. The default value of the starting is 0, right? So that's why you will get the same thing if you will pass this value, and if you will not pass this value, both the things is still same. If you wanna change any one of them, what happened? I'm gonna change the endpoint, and that endpoint I'm gonna use 6. Just look at the difference. Only you will get the Python. Okay. What happened if instead of 6, I'm gonna write 2 here? So it will give you the whole numbers, give a step by step. Just look at, first of all, it will give you the 0 index. Just add 2 inside the 0 index. After that, it will give you the second index, and then 4, and then 6, and then blah, blah, blah. That's how it will work. Sometime what happen if I'm gonna write colon -1? What does it mean? So when you will use this method, so you will get your reverse string here. And now using this method, you can also identify your string is palindrome or not. So that was a very basic program. If you like to create a one program to check out your string is palindrome or not, is you can simply use this method. How it will work? So let me give you the one moment. Okay. One is a step what I have written. So this is a difference between the indexes what I am getting here. This is a difference, guys. Okay. So let me explain it. So what I have done, so I have print from starting 0 to 15, and the difference I have used -1. That's why you will get your string in reverse method. Just look at the difference. Okay. Sometime if you like to check your string is palindrome or not, just you can simply put your both things this way. Okay, what happened? You will get the result in true or false. So your string is not palindrome. That's why you will get the false. If your string has been palindrome, then you will get the true. Okay, so that's how you can simply check it out. This is a very basic function you can simply using this method. And now let me move forward to the next point. We are discussing about the string, right? Just you know very well, we have defined the name as well, we have defined the names as well. Okay, so these are the multiple variable what I have defined. What happened? Let me put another name here, because or either the name will work fine along with me, right? So the point is I would like to print my name in lowercase. Okay, sometime now actually this particular case is called sentence case, where you will find out each and every first character of your every word will be in uppercase and the remaining are lowercase. So this statement is called sentence characters. Now, if you want to print your whole string in lowercase, then you can simply manipulate your string using the methods of your string. Okay, methods of str. How you'll be able to check out how many method you can simply use? So this is a one dir same you can simply use. Here I'm gonna put str. Just look at this. So these are the methods what I can simply use along with my capitalize, fold, count, encode, format, is digit, is number. So all these are the methods. Okay. So I'm going to use one of them. If you want to convert your string in uppercase, you can use this method. If you will use lower method, so it will convert your string in lowercase. Okay. And sometime if you don't know about any method, just you know very well, you can simply put your string inside the help. Okay, and just you can simply type your lower as well. It will return when you will call lower method. So method on method descriptor. So it will return a copy of a string converted into lowercase. So that's how it will work. Okay, so all these are the whole help of all these functions, right? if you're gonna call any one of them. So these are the methods. How can you simply use? So let me take one example. So what I have done, so this is a names I have defined, and what you want to do, you would like to convert your name in lowercase. Just you can simply use this method to do that. You can simply call a lower function here. So this is a lower function what I have called. Okay, just you need to execute this function and it will give you the Python train in converted into lowercase. And now the one important thing you have to know, lower function, it's not a in place function. Okay, I have used this term multiple times, right? In place, because what is actually in place, because if you want to check it out, the real value of names, the real value of names has not been changed. The real value of the name is still same. Okay, because the real value of names not converted into lowercase. When you are trying to call this function, on that time it will convert and return a value. Okay, now some functions are called in place, and in place function will most of the time will not return the value, they will change the original object. Okay, but this is not a in place function, it will not change the original object, it will convert the original object and return a converted string on top of your terminal. But the point is, if you want to store the converted string, either if you like to convert in uppercase, so you can simply call the upper method. What happened, your string has been converted into uppercase, but the sometime the if you want to check out, if you want to check it out, the original string is still in sentence case, right? Sometimes if you want to store your whole string in uppercase for the future reference as well, just you have to use this method. When you are trying to convert your string, it will return a uppercase string, and you are trying to define the same name variable again. You can also use a new variable, it's your choice. Okay, so what I have done, so now it will not return on top of terminal. So I have successfully in place my value. Just look at this, execute the shell again, and now the original value of the names has been converted into uppercase. So that's how you would be able to convert your values. Okay, the another method, names. Okay, you can also use a swap case, as you can also use sentence case as well. Okay, and not, let me check it out. So all these are the function, guys, you can simply use. So you can use any one of them according to your conditions, what's better for you. Now the point is, sometimes you are trying to check some condition as well. Okay, which type of condition I'm talking about. If you're going to check it out, is it a lower function, just you can simply use these methods. Is lower, what it will do, it will return a one boolean value to you. If this particular names is lower, so it will return it true, otherwise it will return it false. It will return false because all the values are in uppercase. Okay, so instead of using this method, you can also try to use this method as well. So all these are method, the different method. The upper was a different method, the is upper was a different method. And now it's my bad, upper, that's cool, names is dot upper. Now it will give you the true, because the actual value inside contains inside the names was uppercase. So another example to understand, let's suppose I have put a one string here. Okay, if you're going to check out the type of data, this is not an integer, I have put single quote, that's why it's a string. But the point is, if you like to check out all the string have been digit or not, then you can simply use this method, is digit. Okay, now if all the string have been considered inside the data as a string or a number, then it will give you the true, otherwise it will return a false. So that's how all the methods of the string is also work. Okay, so you can use, you have to use all these methods. Okay, because there's a multiple method, you will find out. I would not be able to teach you each and everything, just these are the methods how you would be able to take a help using the help function. You have to try your own, right? And now let me give you the one important string here. Let's suppose if you have a data, right, and if you have a very huge string, this is 80 grand. Okay, and now I'm going to write one more thing here, Python train. Now that's what I have done. So now the point is, this is a whole string what I have defined here, right? Now what I need to do, sometimes if you would like to split your string, okay, what I need to do, I'd like to split my string. What is actually called split is, there's a one function called split. There's a one method, you can also call method or a function. There's a one method is called name is split. What it will do for you, it will split your whole string according to a one condition and according to the one argument. So the default value of the argument will space. One, you will not type anything, just you have to execute this function. What happened? So it will split your whole string into a different element. Just look at this. So now this is a different element, this is a different element, AD, grant, Python, training, blah, blah, blah. All the words have been assigned into a different element inside the list. Okay, if you would like to store this list, just you can simply store anywhere. And now you can print your list here. So that's how you have stored this list again. Now the point is, where I have used these methods, right? Let's take on one example. If you like to write your email addresses, okay, sometimes if you want to forget your email address, right, and there when you are trying to forget your email address, they will tell you, okay, please confirm your email, okay, and they will give you the one ID of your email. Just look at this, they will type this method, right? Just you have to you have to confirm your email address, then you will be able to log in your website. How they will do this type of task, okay? So that's actually, so what they will do, let's suppose took an example, this is a one email, this is a one email address they have found, and I'm going to write a one email address here. Now this is the one example. I'm going to took a one different email as well, okay, because we will not create a hard coded here. So I'm going to put a different email and I'm searching at gmail.com. Now the difference in both email, only this particular email have 6 characters and this particular email have a multiple character instead of 6. Now what I need to do, I would like to convert this particular, I would like to create this particular email using both the emails. What I need to do, I need to put 3 values, I need to convert 3 values here, and also I need a domain as well. Gmail.com, I need to convert this, instead of Gmail it could be AP2A as well, okay, it could be a Slack as well. So now the point is, you have to convert your email address in this method. How you would be able to do that? So let me explain. So the first of all, when we will discuss about the string manipulations, is you can simply type this method, right? Email one. What you have to do, just you can simply type how much index number you want. So I would like to, I know I want 3 index. Just you can simply write this method. What it will do, it will give you the 3 indexes. And now there's a one more thing we have learned in case of a string, you can also concatenate multiple string. This is a one way to concatenate, and how much string I want. So I would like to mount star at multiple times, just you can simply use this method. Okay. And now instead of using this method, you can also use this method. Just look at this. How much time you want asterisk. So I'm going to count 10 times. So what I have done, so I have multiply asterisk 10 times. So it will give you the 10 asterisk here. Just look at this. And all the 10 asterisk have been concatenate into the EGGY as well. So that's how it will work. Okay. Now the next thing, just give the plus one more time. What I need to do, I would like to take domain from here. Okay. Now the point is, in case of Gmail, there's a different domain. In case of AP2, there's a different domain. Okay. If I would like to take a one extra email here. And now the point is, in this domain, I have a multiple characters. Okay. In this domain, I have a 4 characters, 5 characters, and the more than 5 and 6, right? Now, how you would be able to fetch this particular element? Then you have to use a split method for that. Because if you're gonna use a hard-coded method, what I need, what does it hard-coded? Let's take an example. If you would use this method, how much index number you want? I want 6 index number. You can simply use this method, -6. What does it mean? Just look at this. So it will give you the 6 index of the last email, right? So now the point, instead of 6, if you're gonna type 10 here, it will give you the 10, or instead of I need 9 index number. Now the point, this particular method is only work for email 1, okay? This method will not work for email 2, because in email 2, I have a different character domain, right? In email 3, I have a huge characters of domain instead of first one. So here, instead of using the hard-coded string, what I need to do, I would like to split my string using a different condition. If you want to type your string here, So it will split your string according to the spaces, and there's a no space between them. So what I need to do, I need to split my string according to the at. So just look at this, and what you need from here, you want a domain name, and now it will return a list. Just look at this. Inside a list, you will get a 2 index. This is a 0, and this is another index. Just you can simply type -1. This is a -1 index. Only you will get the domain. Either you can simply type email2 ap2e.com, email3. Oops, that's good. And if you want to type email3, you will get the skillcenter.com. Okay, there's a no size character, there's a no limit of the characters I have defined. I have used a split method here. So what I need to do, just I'm going to use this method, and just look at this. So, and now you have to change this value, email1 to email2, and now it will give you the sec ap2e.com, it will give you the sec3. So that's how the split function is also works sometime in case of real and normal. Okay, you need to you want to fetch a domain name from your email, then you can simply use a split function there. And what I have done, let me repeat it sometimes. Okay, actually some of the students have been confused in this statement. This is nothing, this is a concatenation. We have also discussed earlier, let me explain. So this is actually sometime if you like to define a variable, okay, and now if I would like to multiply this 10 times, what happened? Just look at this. So this is a concatenation. Concatenation have been happening 2 times. This is the first method. You can also use multiple sign. Okay. The another method for concatenation, you can simply use plus sign. You can concatenate and another character as well. Give the space. That's how it will work. Either you can simply use a asterisk sign. It will multiply thousands time of searching, and it will give you the string here. That's how the concatenation will work. Okay, so that's how I have multiply asterisk at 10 times, so it will give you the result here. Okay, so this is the way, guys, what I have done. You can simply use manipulate your string, and now it's say doubt time. Just you can simply drop your doubts into the chat box. Let me read. How can we get star missed characters? Actually, what I have done, just this is a very basic string manipulations what I have done here. What does it mean? So this is a email1, email2, and email3. Okay, what I need to do, I would like to convert my email address using this syntax. Okay, so I need 3 characters so for my email, so I have used slicing method for that. After that, I have calculate 10 asterisk there. So what I have done, just I have used a concatenation method using the plus operator, and I have concatenated 10 string here. After that, I have split my email address according to the at. It will return, okay, and it will return a one list according to the at. And from that particular list, I need a last value. That's why I have used a slicing operator as well here. Okay. So there's a multiple question. What if I want to asterisk according to the remaining letter? That's a nice question, Hitesh Gupta. And for that, just only you need to do, you can simply use this method. That's a very, instead of using this, just you can simply down, and what you need to do, you have to do the more manipulations of the data type, and you can simply calculate the length of your email. Okay, this is how it will work. Let me show you. Sachin, that's okay. And now instead of this, split at, and then you need to use a 1, and now it will give you the length. Okay, that's cool. And now what you need to do, just need to convert -3. Okay, don't be confused, guys. Just you will get this code as well. You will get all these things later. Okay, and you will get a 1 number here. And now what you need to do, just need to multiply using the same thing. Asterisk, and I'm gonna use a multiply. Oops, this is a calls. So that's how it will work. So what I have written, oh my bad, email3 split at 1 index, 0 index. So now that's how it will work. So what I have done, so I have calculated the asterisk, so 3 asterisks are remaining. That's why I have used 3 asterisks there. Instead of, if you want to use a 1 email address, just look at this. Okay, Now it will give you the many asterisk. Okay, according to the length of your string, now it will return a number of asterisk. That's how it will work. Okay, just you have to understand this code. What I have done, just I have sliced this particular operator, and again after that I have calculated the length of this operator. I have -3, and I have again used the same method. Got it? So if the another question, want to use, oh, the Abhinav is confused when to use a set of parentheses and when to use a this. Actually the parentheses right now we have used only for calculations, right? Okay, but the parentheses most of the time you will find out in case of tuple, but there's no need to do tuple right now. And the parentheses I have used for create a grouping, right? When you are trying to create some number of group, then you can simply use set of parentheses. But when you are trying to do slicing, there you have to use a square bracket. Okay, and the explain line number 16. Oh, where's the line number 16? You're still confused in line. There's a, yeah. Oh, let me explain, don't worry. So there is some candidates have been doubt inside this particular statement. What is actually is it? So I have typed 2 here. What does it mean? Because when you're going to type 1 here, what does it mean? It will give you the whole string, right? So when I'm going to type 2, what it meaning? So let me explain. So first of all, just when I have type 1, so it will give you the 0 index, right? And at the end of the session, it will give you the 15 index. So this is a 0 index. After that, it will give you the 1. Why? Because it will add each and every time it will add a difference in the inside this index. Okay, that's why it will give you the 1. Each and every time it will add a difference. Okay, what difference you have told? 1. So this is a difference. That's why first of all you will get the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 index. Now the point, if I'm going to write 2 here, so what happens? So you have add a 2 difference each and every time. So that's why according to this you will get the PTORIIG. You can simply calculate 0. This is a 0 index. After that you will get the second index. Just calculate. The second one is T. After that you will get the O. Just you have drop of 1 index between them. That's how it will work. Okay. So the most question I'm gonna take, please explain the line number 19. Oh, in line number 19, what I'm trying to do. So actually I'm trying to define, I'm trying to check out my particular variable is palindrome or not. What is actually a palindrome? Palindrome is a string which is equivalent to when you're gonna reverse your string. Okay, when you're gonna forward your string, so both the string should be same. And what I have done, I have used only one normal condition. Check it out, my string is palindrome or not. This type of a string, if you will discuss about MAM. So if I'm gonna use this particular string, let's look at this. So what does it mean? Actually, this is a palindrome string what I have used. If you're gonna check it out, A is equivalent to A. If you're gonna use this method, colon colon -1, just look at this. This particular string is still same, right? You can simply use this operator to check what happened. Because this particular string, if you're gonna reverse this particular string, so the string is still same. That's how a palindrome program you can simply create using a one line. Okay. Yep, we will start the Visual Studio Code in next session. Don't worry. Okay. Why we use -1, -3 after at? Please explain. Okay, this is the last question I have to guys. After that, I'm gonna wrap up the session. So why I have used -3? Okay, and the -1. So what I have done? So the sometime let's look at one example. One more time. So this is an example, right? If you have put that particular lines, what I have told you, this is a line, right? And what I have done, I have split my whole data. And now just look at this. Now the point is, if you like to fetch any value from here, just you need to do slicing for that. And you can also use a negative number of slicing, and I'm gonna use a -1 for that. What I have done, I have used a x -1. That's why it will give you the last index of your list set. What I'm gonna use, if you wanna use a -2 here, so it will give you the Python. You can also calculate your string from forward. Either you can simply calculate your string from backward as well. That's how it will work. Okay. And now I'm gonna drop a few questions into the Slack workspace today. Okay, you have to done all these questions, guys. Okay, that particular questions will be I'm going to drop those questions related to list only. Okay, I'm going to drop, and from next session we will learn about the dictionary. Okay, that was the next topic what we want to learn. Bye. To practice, let me stop my share. Goodbye.